Good morning, guys. We got John and Lindsay from Six Forks Farm in with us this morning, and we're going to talk about grass and poop. Yay! Best day ever. 731, 94.5 KLVQ, Athens Classic Hits Music Station. Good morning to you and happy Thursday. It's time for Coffee Talk. Our guest this morning is John and Lindsay DeVivo. I even phonetically spelled it and missed it by that much. They are from Six Forks Farm in Athens, and so excited to have you guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Sizzle.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes. So introduce yourselves to everybody. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
Sure. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Okay, good. I have to get used to this microphone. I'm trying to figure out, do I breathe in the microphone? Do I just talk normal?
The microphone really likes you.
Okay.
Your voice is picking up really well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have the fancy earphones like you have.
You can. You want to wear them?
No. I think that would throw me off.
Okay.
That would really Okay, good. So Lindsay and I we're restaurateurs. We always have been in the restaurant business our whole life. And we wanted to incorporate that into a lifestyle, right? And then we decided, personally, I've always wanted to be the farmer and the chef. And how rewarding would that be to be able to control both aspects of food from the field to the fork? And so we wanted to farm and we wanted to entertain people at the same time. So, Lindsay is becoming an expert in the regenerative farm aspect, which was her idea to farm that way, and bring it to you, bring it to the public. And so we decided to develop our concept, Six Forks Farm, which comes from there's 6 of us in our family. We've got 4 amazing children who they help a lot on the farm, and they've adjusted to this lifestyle faster than we did, honestly.
Really?
And so there's 6 of us in our family, and then the fork is a big part of what we do, which is food. And so, and then on top of that, of course, we're a farm. And so that's kind of where the logo came from and who we are. We try to incorporate our children in a lot of the things that we do. And it's really cool to watch them grow and to be old enough to be, capable, right? And then actually handle some of the things that we do together. So that's kind of like a synopsis of who we are in a nutshell. And so our logo, we separated into farm, table, bed, 3 areas, because we're doing the regenerative farm now, and then we're working on the table, which is our catering program, plus we're building a building that has the capabilities of doing cooking classes, cooking demonstrations. And the cooking demonstrations are real fun, where couples come and eat charcuterie and watch me entertain while I cook. And we could do farming classes, we can do pop-up chef-prepared dinners, we could do all kinds of stuff in this building that we're working on, and it's almost there. It's taken a little longer than we wanted, but baby steps. And so that's the table part of our business. And then the bed, finally, which is all I've ever wanted to do. That was my biggest, excitement, was the bed part. I wanted to be a bed and breakfast. And so the exciting part about that is that we're offering more than a place to stay. We're offering an experience, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody wants a story to tell. Everybody wants this great experience, because really that's what you're selling. That's what people want, is an experience. It's not. So along with the place to stay, we are offering a chef-prepared breakfast in the morning with things that are harvested from the farm, like eggs from the chickens, bacon from
Yeah.
And so that type of experience, we'll offer farm tours, we'll offer, other exciting stuff for guests. And so that's the goal. And I don't know why, personally, ever since I was a teenager, I've always wanted to have a bed and breakfast. And so, my
Did
mother,
you stay at one?
No, I don't know why. I think it's because my mother, do you remember the show Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
And Raymond's mom, I had a mom that could cook like that. and we were always entertaining in the house. And she was an amazing host. Like she could work a party. Like she was, and everybody loved her for it. And so I feel like I married a wife that's just like that. They can entertain like that. And so if we could entertain for a living, how exciting would that be?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, and you guys recently, you have the pizza truck. If anybody's been to the Athens Farmers Market, that was my first introduction to Six Forks Farm. Was your pizza truck, and then from there, you recently you catered the Athens Ladies Night Out, and I got to tell you, I've been to many different events, and that was my favorite. That was my favorite. It filled every single sense of my belly of what I could ever want, and it was beautiful. And you guys just executed it so wonderfully. I was very impressed.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Well, we try hard. Like food is, I don't want to say it's the most important thing that we do, but it kind of is. I mean, everything is centered around food and around the table. And so that's why we farm, right? We're bringing food to the table. So I feel like everything that we do kind of centers around that. So if I could keep talking for a second.
Please.
Will.
I love you guys.
Lindsay's not really, this isn't her thing to be in the, I don't want to say
In this,
yeah.
on the hot seat.
Right, that's right. So I'll make her feel more comfortable. So as far as food, that's what, there's a lot of people that don't understand the relationship between food and emotion, which is big, right? So everybody remembers what their grandmother's house used to smell like on Sunday afternoon or whatever. And so those smells are those things that connect you to a memory. And that's really, I learned at the Cheesecake Factory a long time ago when I worked there, that there's that relationship between food and emotion where flavor connects you to a memory or it creates a new one, right? So there's like the movie Ratatouille, when the food critic, when he ate the ratatouille, and it took him right back there to when he was a kid, right? And so that's what we're trying to accomplish with people, and that relationship and that connection, that memory that we're trying to create. Just like I was telling you, as far as experiences, everybody wants a story to tell, right? Yeah. Everybody wants a memory, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to provide.
You provide things that most people can't just go out and buy.
Well, that's the thing, is that when you cook for someone, it's like giving them a gift. And it sounds cheesy a little bit, but when you, have you ever gotten somebody a gift and you're just sitting in front of them going, oh, I can't wait for you to open it. I just want you to love it. Right?
Yes.
Just open it.
Yes.
And if that's not how you feel when you cook for someone and set that down right in front of them, then you might be doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so that's where it starts. If you don't feel that, you're not creating a memory. You're not doing a service to the person that you're serving.
Yes.
And so that's what we're trying to accomplish when we cater. So we're not just making food for people's events. We're trying to create memories, and we're trying to create experiences, and that's who we are.
Well, you're doing a great job. We're going to take our first break. We've got John and Lindsay DeVivo with us with Six Forks Farm. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more to tell you about what they've got going on and a special gift that they brought me. We'll tell you about that when we return.
How's that?
You did great.
Okay. Awesome.
You did, and you, girl,
okay,
hold him down.
You have to talk a little next. So,
Okay.
Well, and what's wrong with this? Oh, good morning, Dan Hunt. Good morning, Dan Hunt. Good morning, Kathy Fleming, my sweet friend. Good morning, guys. Say hi to John and Lindsay. Good morning. Good morning. Wake up, guys. Wake up. And then I do have ready grass and poop.
Oh, you do? Oh, we're going to talk about grass and poop.
Can we talk about grass and poop?
I guess so. That seems to be a, sort of controversial.
Hey, we can tell people that it's out there and then make them go find it.
Oh yeah, our YouTube channel. We have to talk about that. Do you want to
Yeah, I would talk about farm.
Okay.
I mean, I'll talk about anything. I'm not paralyzed.
And again, and if we need to go in a direction, just let me know. Guys, look at these amazing. Look what I got this morning. I got eggs, real eggs that came from chickens.
If you've got a sauté pan, we'll hook you up real quick.
I don't.
Oh.
And I got cups, wine glasses. Okay, 3 seconds. Here we go. 94.5 KLVQ, Athens Classic Hits Music Station. You're in the middle of Coffee Talk. I'm Stephanie, and today's guest, we have John and Lindsay DeVivo from Six Forks Farm. And we've been talking this morning about their farm to table aspect. And last night, I got to share this. I was scrolling through social media and came upon a video. You guys have a new YouTube channel.
We do. We try to provide videos to engage people in what we're doing, how the farm works, what type of farming. Because let's face it, the type of farming that we're doing is very different than the way that most people farm, and so it's unique in that way. And so Lindsay is going to talk.
I'm gonna just play the first part of this for you guys.
And on a windy day, a warmer day, which we're grateful for, in the beginning days of December. So we're going to talk about grass today. We're also going to talk about poop. So if you don't like hearing about grass and poop, this is just kind of.
You gotta love it. I learned so much. I assumed everybody bought hay. They threw the hay down, but your way makes so much more sense.
It does. It's a lot harder work. And Lindsay is. I don't know how she does all the things that she does, to be honest.
So talk a little bit about why is that so important? What you're doing is so much different, but it seems to be more the natural way.
So I think in all of our marriage, our time together, and raising children, one of our major goals was to live an authentic life, and with what is good, what is true, what is beautiful as the basis. And so our businesses John's major career has always been in the restaurant industry, and so therefore food is central to our life. And so we really wanted our children to understand where food comes from, to have a real concept of that. So when we decided to start Six Forks and we had the farm, I looked into different farming models that would support, kind of our values and our take. And I came across regenerative farming, and it is the main goal in regenerative farming is to heal the land, and your focus is on the land, and you use livestock and animals to come in and help you achieve those goals. And so
that sounds weird. How do you do that?
So my
John is now the DJ.
I'm intrigued.
I love it. Well, but and it's not a concept that most people are used to. I mean, you are constantly moving and focusing on different pieces of your property because the animals drop things and eat things, and then the land absorbs things, and then it grows, and then we use those things.
See, look, you're an expert already.
Yeah, you can come help me move the floor.
I got you.
Good.
I'm down. It sounds like so
See you
much.
tomorrow at 6:30.
In the morning?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
So that's what we do. We have a flirt of sheep, hair sheep, and cows. We have chickens. We have pigs, and so each animal on the property has a job, and we have our sheep and cows together, and those are the big impactors. When we bought our property, it had been just grazed for probably 40 years, right? Mm-hmm. Just constantly, cattle's just free roaming. Animals, like people will go for the sweetest grass first. Mm. They want, what's rich. And so everything gets left. So you really have to manage them and teach them what they're going to eat. And in order to impact and utilize them to heal the land. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And they all work together. I mean,
They do, and so the cattle go in and they eat what is rich and great first, and then the sheep go in and they eat different things and what is kind of left over, and then the chickens come through and do their work as is on the video, and so yeah, it does work together. It is intensive. I'm out there every morning, and some evenings. Sometimes we have to move them multiple times a day just to protect the land.
And that's with fencing, and
Yes.
and you're moving the fencing,
Correct.
and nothing is stationary.
Right. Everything is constantly moving.
do you want to talk about why we move them in roots?
Yeah. So it's important that the whole point is the deeper the roots go in the plant, the more that they are able to draw in carbon and draw in nutrients into the soil. And so the longer the tops grow, the deeper the roots grow. And so we allow the herd to go on for a minimum amount of time, so that they don't overgraze, they don't pull too much, which would affect the roots.
Which and so as the whole process happens, you're putting more nutrients into the ground, and in time, you're going to have better food for your animals.
Absolutely. So our food, as a whole, we can agree that our food is very nutrient lacking, and so that's because our soil is lacking in nutrients. And so as our animals go through, and we are very low in phosphorus, so we have special minerals that are out there, and the animals take it. I mean, it's amazing to watch them. They know what they need. So you provide, a mineral
Supplement,
right, for
okay.
them, and they take what they need. And they take what they need based on what you're lacking in your soil. It's really
and then as they get it, and then they deposit it, and then it gets spread around by the chickens, then that becomes less of an issue later on.
Absolutely.
Because it's in the ground now.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
fascinating.
Isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
And so it takes time and it takes effort, a lot of effort. It's intense. But once you're in a healing, once you have healed, then it just operates on its own. And you just have to manage. We're always protecting the grass. We're always is that pasture too low? Is it, we're measuring, we measure, I go out with a measuring tool and I measure the height of the grass, and I see how long our cows can be there. And then based on that, okay, they have 12 hours, they have 6 hours here, depending, and then they get moved again. So everything is to protect the roots. And the deeper your roots, just like in life, the deeper your roots, the more you're going to bring in what is good, and you're going to be able to deposit that, and then you'll be able to ultimately consume that.
Absolutely amazing. And so actually, let's take another break. Let's take our final break of this hour. We're going to be right back. We've got John and Lindsay DeVivo with us, Six Forks Farm. You may know the pizza truck. You may have had their catering before. We're talking in detail about their actual farm that they've got. We'll talk more about that when we return right after this.
By Athens Screen Printing, banners, decals, custom embroidery,
hats, and t-shirts. Yeah, because there's just so much good information. Good morning, guys. Amanda Marholtz. Good morning. Mike Embry. Good morning. If you're looking for a good caterer, guys, I'm telling you, you will be, they'll blow you away. What did Amanda say? Amanda said, good morning, happy face. Good morning, guys. Okay, so what else?
To cover, what else do we need to, do you want to talk about the pigs in the springtime? Okay. And the chickens, talk about everybody's job.
Everyone's job, okay. So tell me again about everybody's job. You said everybody has a job. Let's talk more about that. And then, of course, obviously, we're going to close with catering, hire us.
Yes, so then we can tie that in, that we ultimately are ultimate goal is to bring the farm to the table, and that way we're selling meat.
And are you there? Like, you're not the only person from the farm yet.
No, not yet.
Okay,
And
that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on that. So we, we usually when we cater, we'll use like beef from Happy Cattle Beef from Lori Hannon.
Love it.
And so we want to be able to offer the best grass-fed beef that we can until we're completely ready. We just processed our first animal, our first cow. We've got our first sheep or lamb processed. We're doing 3 pigs this coming month and 5 more lamb. And so exciting things to come for us. But until then, even though we're not completely ready, we still like to support the other farmers in the area, especially Lori and Mark.
Okay.
They're great people and they're doing it right, and so, and that's really tricky because how we talk, I don't want to be offensive to anyone because everybody works hard, everybody's got great farms, and then so, we're not necessarily right and they're wrong, we're just doing it a different way.
Sure.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to be able to talk about that without being arrogant in that way.
Yeah. I don't think it's that at all. I think you guys have a vision and you're going to go with your stuff and, everybody fits in. I think everybody kind of fits in. All right, go back. That was quick. 94.5 KLVQ 752. Glad to have you on this Thursday coffee talk this morning, brought to you by Six Forks Farm. We've got John and Lindsay DeVivo with us, and we were talking earlier about the actual farm and the way that you guys chose to execute the farm to table model, and it is fascinating to me. I just think it's such a natural way to do things. I just assumed that everybody bought hay bales and fed their cows, and if you have the land and you can put all of it back in and utilize what you've already got, that just seems like such an obvious way to do it, almost. But you mentioned everybody has a job on the farm. All the animals have a job. Can you talk a little bit more kind of about that?
Sure. So, yes, all the animals have a job on the farm. The in this grazing that we're doing, it's not just grazing, it's also the impact that they have. So the herd comes in and they you have 100% of your paddock, right? And they
Of my what?
Of your paddock. So that's what we call
The area.
areas that
Okay.
we're in that we move our paddocks. So you have 100% of that. They're going to, you want, when they leave, you want 30% of that remaining in order to protect and cover and grow. You need that. So they come, they lay it down, their hoofs impact, just like they did on the prairies when we had the buffalo running through. They were in herds, they were close together, they were compacted, and they would impact both their feet. They would press into the soil. They would lay down the hay as ground cover that then turns into more soil. And they lost my train of thought.
And then they eliminate, and that's fertilization, or is there more?
That's right. Then there's fertilizer, and then so that is how they impact, not just eating and
Okay.
and
So they're massaging the ground as they're on it, and
absolutely. And grazing animals, this is fascinating. So ruminants, which are natural grazers, your sheep, your cows, your giraffes, they come through.
do you want a
We're
giraffe?
gonna get a giraffe.
I love it. John's gonna get a giraffe. You heard it here first.
So they come through, and the way that their mouths work, they take the grass, they wrap their tongue around it, and they pull it up. They don't have top teeth. And so they pull the grass up, and it doesn't pull the root out, it just breaks the grass off.
Wow.
You have a horse come through, and it comes through, and it pulls the roots, and it grazes. So they're even designed to graze with protection of the soil. Isn't that
It
fascinating?
is fascinating.
Yeah, so when they stomp the grass down, then they're stomping the weeds, right? And then they're creating ground cover for the soil. So when the soil is covered, it's protected from the sun
Got it.
and it stays more moist, and then the roots will grow. And when the roots grow, it keeps the moisture in and the carbon in the soil.
And everything living in there, all the microorganisms, all the
That's right.
life
And so
inside the soil.
yeah, and so that's the goal with the cows and the sheep. So we have them together because the cows, they're the pickiest eaters. They'll eat the grass, which is what we want them to eat. and the sheep usually eat what's left, what cows don't eat, and then they stomp down the rest, and then they move on to the next paddock. Well, then the chickens come along probably, I don't know, 48, 72 hours later, and that's how long it takes for the larvae to develop in the manure, right? And then they're able to get that out of there, which is their natural food. And, you know, it might sound gross, but like I was telling you before we started, this is what birds do. This is God's plan. And God made the birds cleanup crew for everyone. I mean, if you think about it, they eat the roadkill on the road that's been there for several days. And they're cleanup crew of kind of everything. But my favorite story of Everybody Has a Job is about the pigs. And we don't use any pesticides. We're all organic, right? In order to achieve that, we put all of the animals in their environment that they were intended to be in by God's plan. Like, so the pigs, for instance, their natural environment is in the woods because they root. That's what they eat. And so we put the pigs down in the woods, and this was, you know, right before spring last year. And when they were down there in their environment, they were eating mostly roots, and then we had to start to supplement with food. No corn, no soy, by the way. So we're all no GMO, right? And so they're down there doing their thing, and then the spring came, and then we just got overrun by bugs, mosquitoes, ticks, you name it. Anything that you find in woods, it was down there. We just get eaten alive when we go down there to tend to it. So we're like, well, what do we do now? We can't use pesticides. We can't use, you know. So how do we fix this? Well, we converted a mineral feeder that was down there in the middle of the woods, and converted it to a small chicken coop. And then we brought the chickens down there. Chickens ate all the bugs, and they ate all the ticks. They ate all the everything. And so it wasn't long before we went down there, and we weren't overrun by bugs anymore. And so that's kind of a perfect example of, you know, how they all have a purpose and a job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that's kind of like a clear example of what do you mean by that? How does everybody have a job?
Yeah. Oh, and the city girl over here is just like, this is mind blowing. And then at the end of the day, all of these animals that are doing their jobs eventually are going to be utilized for the back to the table.
Correct.
And they're free from the GMOs, and they don't have pesticides, and they've been living on the land that's been giving them all the nutrients that they want, which is going to make amazing food.
Right. And it's important that we say that while we are healing our land, you know, while we are fixing what's in it, we have had to supplement, you know, with hay, and we have, you know, we just put a protein block out because we just don't have. We're just not where we need to be as far as minerals. But we feed our animals what they're intended to be fed. All ruminants are only grass and, you know, hay, dry grass. And chickens are fed grain, non-GMO, no soy. Pigs are fed no corn, no soy, no GMOs. And so our goal is to come in and work alongside nature and not overtake it. Keep our place where we're supposed to be.
And you've been at this now for how long?
Since March.
Since March.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a year yet.
It has not.
We've been here for a little more than a year. But
It
as far
feels
as
like a long time.
It
After you
does.
consider that drought this summer and everything else that we were supposed to, you know, that we went through. It feels like a real long time. We got some on the boots, you know, on the ground, boots on the ground experience. So.
Well, and how did the pizza truck is part of a bigger.
It is. We sold our restaurant back in Keller before we came out here, and we had another pizza truck back in Keller. My brother was my business partner, and it was a fire truck with a wood-burning pizza oven on it.
How cute.
I love making pizza. I love cooking pizza. And so we probably don't have time for all of that, but I have a lot to say about pizza. So
we'll make the time, John.
So the wood fire pizza is very different than any other kind of pizza. And we use the ingredients that we use, like we have an Italian imported sausage. We have a 5-cheese blend that we use on the pizza as well. Really quality ingredients that we use, but we set the oven. So even though it's wood fire, we usually, like a Neapolitan style pizza would be a wood fire pizza. That's like a 1,000-degree oven. It cooks in like less than a minute, and it's got all the little, black specks on
Yep.
it, and it's it's real puffy. Well, that's great. I'm not a fan of Neapolitan style pizza because it's got too much chew to it. I'm a texture guy, so I like a crust.
Yes.
Sort of like an English muffin where you get the crust, right? And then you get the tear, and then you still get the chew all in one. And so we calm down the oven just a little bit to about 850 degrees, and it can still cook at 2 minutes or so, but you develop more of a texture in the crust, which is what I like. And so I'm a big fan of pizza, and I love to cook it. And so being on that truck with our staff, by the way, our staff is amazing.
Your staff is amazing.
We couldn't do what we do without them, and we're so grateful for them. And when we're on the truck, and you get overwhelmed sometimes with the amount of pizzas you're trying to make. And when a staff member stops me and says, "Are you sure you want to sell that? That doesn't look right. You probably want to start another one." I mean, we're doing something.
Right?
That's a gift,
Yeah.
right? For someone to care like that.
Yes.
And so they do a great job, and they love our guests as much as we do, and they really love what they're doing. And so we're grateful for them, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do without them.
Well, it starts at the top, but you guys have set a good example, and you're good people to work for, I'm assuming, and that's why they give back 100% to you.
We try.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's huge. All right, so we covered pizza truck, but let's talk a little bit about the catering, because even though the farm isn't a work in progress, I mean, you guys are ready to cater. You're available to cater.
Oh yeah, we've been catering quite a bit around the area, so we do pizza.
Grass
Good
and
talk.
grass and poop.
just like we were talking about. But we also have a whole traditional style menu on our website. We do, and the cool thing about that is that I'm a chef by trade, so we can totally work off menu and kind of make whatever, So the menu's on the website just kind of as a formality, right? But we do weddings, we do you name it for guests, and we're able to kind of make what they want and what they like versus what's just on the menu.
And it goes beyond the food. I know when you guys hosted Ladies' Night, it's the service that goes along with. You can provide food for people, but getting your staff and you guys there and the experience that you provide with your catering is priceless, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. What else?
We really do love to host, and so when
Yeah, you
we
can tell.
do cater, and we've been so fortunate. And most of the people that we've catered for have felt like friends, and
Yes.
so it's fun, it's enjoyable, and so we try to again, that authenticity, give that to our guests, the best.
What helps is this community is amazing. We've only been here a little over a year, and we've been trying to intensively grow our business in the past less than a year. And the community's been so welcoming and so warm and so supportive for us. And so, where would you be without that?
Yeah.
I mean, if we had nobody to cater to, where would we be?
Yeah.
And so, and the people have really made it amazing. And so we appreciate that.
Well, and we're blessed to have you guys here. You're a great addition to Athens. Where can we find you next? What do you guys got going on in December? Are you going to be at the holiday market?
We are. We'll be there this weekend making pizzas, and we've got some. Very fortunate to have some private events coming up, and that's what we would rather do, the private events, and that's where we're trying to grow our business toward. And we have some of those coming in December, but the pizza truck will probably quiet down a little bit through the winter, just because it's hard to be outside when it's.
Oh yeah,
degrees, right?
it's hard to be outside making pizzas when it's 102 out, John.
Right. So, I used to like the winters until we got livestock, and that's what most people. Because that's hard when you're breaking up ice, when you're out there, it's 30 degrees, and you're trying to tend to all of the animals and stuff. But we're hoping during this winter time when it's so cold that our other catering can, kind of carry us through. Plus, hopefully the table will be open soon, and we'll be able to host, a number of events in there. And for me, the bed and breakfast can't open soon enough. That's my favorite part. I don't know why. It's just.
Do you have a name yet for all that, or is everything Six Forks?
Everything Six Forks in our logo has farm table beds. So it's kind of all encompassed in one thing.
And the table is an actual building. It's out on 19, and that is where John will host cooking classes, do cooking demonstrations. We'll have guest experts in that will teach in their craft, like nutrition and
farming classes. We'll have somebody come and take apart a pig one day. We'll sell tickets for that and that kind of thing. So, which is amazing.
We'll also sell the animals, as we process them and as they grow and the farm grows. Then we'll be selling our own products from the farm into the table.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going to be a multi-purpose building that we'll use for catering. It'll be also a market, and then it'll be a place to entertain. And so it's kind of like a multi-purpose building.
And where is that located on 19? Like just
it's just south of Walton. So we are, if everybody knows the Womble Feed Store, we're probably, I don't know, less than a mile south of that. So we're right there in between Athens and Canton. And part of our pasture, our property runs down 19. And then that's where, the entrance to our house is off of 19, but where the table is, that runs along 19 right there. So you can't miss it if you're driving by, because that's where we keep our food truck usually. And it works as a giant billboard for us. And so
you can see the nets in the pasture.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, people have come to farm tours and they're like, I've driven by and I've seen these nets. I'm like, why are they keeping those animals in those nets?
It's all part of the bigger plan. So if somebody is interested in contacting you for catering, if somebody's interested in knowing more or following your journey, do you have ways for people to keep up with you?
Oh yeah, so we have a YouTube channel, and it's Six Forks Farm. We also we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have our website, sixforksfarm.com. And you'll find information there, how to contact us, our catering menu, our who we are, what we're doing, all of that stuff. But we usually post a lot of stuff on social media about what we're doing, where we're going, and sometimes pictures of farm chores and things like that in the morning, and hopefully get people to engage in what we're doing. So we're trying to grow our YouTube channel, because there's educational stuff on there, kind of like grass and poop, right?
Yeah.
Or other videos that we've done that talk about kind of what we're doing and how we're doing it, and then the kids are involved, and so it's fun. It's fun for us, and hopefully it's fun for people to watch.
I think one of the first videos that I saw was when you were just introducing the farm. You just kind of introduced the farm and gave the vision. That had to have been in the spring, probably when you first got here.
Oh yeah. That was the video was it was like a commercial type.
It was.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I did that on iMovie. I'm getting so.
John is so many gifts he has.
I see it.
So many.
I'm learning. So hopefully people didn't look at it and go, "Who did this?"
No, it created suspense and intrigue.
Okay, well
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
Done. John and Lindsay DeVivo, Six Forks Farm. Again, you can catch them for a limited time at the holiday market with the pizza truck. But again, if you've got a catering event that you're looking at, a wedding, maybe a Christmas party or some sort of a company gathering, you guys really enjoy doing those. Yes. Go to their website, and the website is sixforksfarm.com. You can find them on social media, and again, Grass and Poop is the latest video. When did you guys put that one out?
That was only a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. I learned so much. Anything else as we wrap up?
No? John, do you have anything?
I don't think so.
Congratulations that you were named Athens Chamber Business of the Month for November.
We're so grateful for that.
Yes.
We're so proud.
Or was that October?
I think it was October.
October.
Yeah.
And that's voted on by the chamber membership.
Thank
So
you, chamber membership.
thank you, chamber membership. No, thank you guys. You guys did such a great job at the ladies' night out, and everything that I've seen you guys do has blown my mind. Really, we're really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Really glad you're here. 94.5 KLVQ. We'll be right back. More of the Sizzle right after this.
Great. That was fun.
Was that fun?
Yeah,
We're
that
still
was
on
totally
Facebook
fun.
Live. Let's see if
I-
you're still watching.
If you need some help, I can come and work with you. If you need.
I know.
I think I like the radio.
I think you're doing great. All right, Amanda Marholtz. We love Lori and Happy Cattle.
We love Lori and Happy Cattle too.
Yes.
We usually use Lori's beef when we cater until we have more of our own animals to be able to sell because they're just doing a great job.
They are. Heather Chancellor, good morning. Jamie Crawford, good morning. Pastor Davidson said pizza. Gil Parks, good morning. Kristen, good morning. And who else? Steve Hardy said good pizza.
Thank you very much.
Kelly Townsend said good morning. And Raylan Terry's watching. Good morning, guys. So go check out their website, sixforksfarms.com. And check out their YouTube channel as well. And you can find that through their Facebook page. Yes. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.